One of the things we want to discuss from a safety issue is the use of cross ties to keep your horse in a designated area so you could go ahead and clip or wash or tie or put a saddle on them. And what I want you to think about is cross ties can be a potential very dangerous place for a horse to be if they're not accustomed to it. In fact, I highly recommend that if you've just purchased a horse that you ask the previous owner of the horse if the horse has ever been cross-tied in the situation in which they have been cross-tied. For instance, were they in a designated area that's kind of feels more enclosed for the horse, or is this an aisleway or in a stall? Because I've known of some really serious accidents that have occurred in the cross-tie areas. For instance, we sold a really nice horse that was cross-tied in this area many times to be ridden. And she went to the new owners and they cross-tied her in a barn aisle, which the horse was not accustomed to. And the horse went to walk forward and because something spooked it, and the horse flipped over backwards and killed itself. So, and that's not, I mean, that can happen. So you need to be really cautious how you use cross ties. The reason those type of things happen is that a horse, when it's tied up to a solid object with the halter, or it's taught to lead, or it's trailered, all the pressure on that horse's head is up near its poll. So they're really accustomed to pressure on their poll and giving to that pressure and not panicking when they've gotten that extreme pressure on their head. However, the cross ties put pressure in a different spot. The pressure on the cross ties mostly comes from the bridge of their nose. And it will hit the bridge of their nose. Let's say if I were to walk away and this horse wants to follow me, as horses would, these cross ties stopping the horse, putting pressure on the nose, and if the horse isn't accustomed to that, will cause the horse to really quickly either push through it, and they're not going to go anywhere because of cross ties, or they're going to back up quickly and can cause this horse to even flip over in the cross ties and hit its head on the floor. So I know that sounds kind of gruesome, but it can happen, and you want to be really watchful. So when we first teach our young horses to cross tie, and I would advise this for anybody who has just purchased a horse and they're going into a cross tie situation, is we start with maybe one cross tie connected to the horse and always having a quick release mechanism, whether it's a quick release snap or a piece of twine that will break, or when we go to horse shows, I'll put zip ties, because I know zip ties will break if the horse gets frightened in the grooming stall. And what we'll do is we'll put one cross tie on, and then we'll put a lead rope on the horse. And this allows us to hold the lead rope and do our stuff about the horse, give the horse the sensation of being cross-tied, but if the horse has a problem, we immediately can release the lead rope to let this horse have the contact on its face released, and then we'll slowly pick it up as the horse quiets down. That way the horse isn't held here in a very solid manner where the only way out for them is to flip over. So just give that some thought, as cross ties can be kind of dangerous, but it's nice to have a horse that will cross tie quietly, as it allows us freedom to move around the horse and in a more open area.